muscle behind it, whatever we can, and put it out there. And we're very proud of the film. And I think they made a fantastic film.
Another question for Anurag. Anurag, you said you grew up in the part of where this film is basically based out of, and your father worked in the state electricity department. Any certain peculiarities of how the government and how the state-run electricity boards sort of function in that part of the...
I've always been on the other side, right? I have dealt with my father, sometimes not getting his salaries, sometimes the month's salary is not coming in because the collection agencies are not able to accumulate the monies, and they're working round the clock. And within the things that lots of people, there's a kind of a collaboration also sometimes of, you know, the electricity is stolen and things happen. I've seen my father, I have a memory of my father on strike. I remember that memory because he would shave every day, and that was the only time I've seen him unshaven. So, and these very childhood memories of things. But you know, I've seen that part of the story. So every time I went to Delhi to study, and I would see Delhi में आप वहाँ पहाड़गंज या उधर वहाँ पे आपको दिखेंगे हजारों कटियाँ. जहाँ भी एक नया illegal development शुरू होता है, वहाँ बिजली पहले कटिया से पहुँचती है. फिर after it is legalized much later on, then they actually put up the poles and the wires. And I know the struggle they used to. Now this film actually has the other two faces of it. The officer, the IA, UPSC, state IS involved, whose in charge, whose job is to collect revenues and make sure her department is to make sure people pay bills and take strict actions. And the other is the man who's actually stealing the electricity. So those two worlds I only saw in this movie. So far I was away from all that because I grew up in powerhouses. All the powerhouses you saw in Gangs of Wasseypur is all where my father worked. That's how I had access to those places.
Also the kind of character that Loha Singh is, you know, you find these very interesting people in the interiors of India that a lot of filmmakers have not tapped into. This is a move in that direction as well, to show, you know, sort of interesting and very quirky characters coming out of the smaller towns.
Loha Singh is quirky, but see, I know Loha Singh from what I see in the movie. They spend more time with Loha Singh. I think they should answer the question about Loha Singh.
How did you find such a quirky, peculiar character as Loha Singh?
Loha was a very chance find. We were actually supposed to shoot with different Katiyabaaz before that, but he developed cold feet at the last moment, being in front of the camera, so he backed out. Initially, our crew was coming in from Austria, so they were here, and everybody was sitting around, and we suddenly didn't have a main character to shoot with. And then we met Loha Singh, and he came up to us and he said, "You want to see something cool?" And he sort of took us to this transformers. He used a few wires, and that transformer just sort of, you know, exploded. That's in the film also. That was actually the time when we met Loha Singh. And we just knew right then, and just the way he presented himself. He's not very tall, but he presents himself to be this giant of a man who's stomping around Kanpur, attaching katiyas, helping the poor and stuff. So he's a very engaging character. And it's, as Anurag said, he's someone that you can't